All right, welcome back to the DreamHack France DreamHack Tour WCS Spring Championship Qualifier. This is the last qualifying match in the winner's bracket, but also the last thing we're going to be casting tonight, as there's a hard cutoff right here and right now. But Zombie, I want to thank you in advance for casting me tonight. Shout out to Fear Dragon who joined us earlier as we get into this final best of 3. What?
I said you're welcome.
Oh, thank you again for saying thank you. You're welcome. Shut up, you've messed me up. Ladies and gentlemen, he plays for Root Gaming. He oftentimes rocks Copa America. He's gonna be the red Terran player, Kelazhur.
You guys should have heard our in-break conversation. That was a real head scratcher.
We're talking about donuts.
In the top right, Boston cream pie. In the top right,
He's lewd.
that's the blue Terran. It is MaSa. What's your favorite type of donut, Rifkin?
Well, actually,
Boston cream? I thought so.
or the jelly-filled ones with the white powder. Those are pretty nice too.
Ah, jelly filled.
I will say I'm not a fan of the actual, like just the classic donut. You just like got the hole in the middle and all that.
Is anyone?
Cops, am I right?
Hand counts, yeah. Well, I used to like Boston cream the most, but then I really started like chocolate and then chocolate glazed, so like double chocolate donuts. Like those are pretty good.
Actually, I take back everything he said because Timbits are the best. Can I get a shout out to Canada?
They're exactly the same as whatever they make at Dunkin' Donuts.
No, they're not. Timbits are better.
I don't even know what they're called at Dunkin' Donuts. I don't go enough.
That's right, because they're fucking terrible, and
They're
Timbits
probably
are the
called
best.
like cuter than Tidbits or whatever.
Timbits after Tim Horton.
Timbits.
You're googling this?
I googled Dunkin' Donuts.
I brought
Munchkins. They're called Munchkins.
Munchkins are a cute breed of cat. They are not a donut for consumption.
They're
madam.
also a cute breed of donut.
I brought us. If you recall, when we were in Toronto, I brought us a bunch of Timbits home. Okay, they were delicious. You ate them. I ate them. They were good.
I will bring Munchkins to the house in Austin.
Swear to God. Like,
Swear to
no,
God.
if you bring like Munchkin cats, I would be
Just
totally
put a
okay
bunch
with
of
that.
Munchkins on the street. Oh my goodness.
We'll be like, hey Rifkin, you want to bully Fear Dragon? I'll be like, no, dog, look at all these cats, and we'll just start playing with them.
He'll be a whole new person.
I know. This is how you make Rifkin a nicer guy.
Munchkins are so cute. I used to have a Munchkin. I didn't have a Munchkin, but I worked someplace that had one, a farm, and it had like a farm cat that was a Munchkin, and it had a serious like complex because it was Munchkin. I think it would roll over like pet me, and then it would just stab people with its claws. So. Yeah, it was always funny watching like 6-year-olds have to cry to their mom. Yep, good times.
It's funny watching young people endure physical pain.
Okay, well that's what happens when you don't know how to read cats' behavior. They just learned a life lesson.
You're like, oh, what happens if I hug this tail really, really hard?
Right?
All right, so there's a tank coming out of this, and for MaSa, I guess you know what? I gotta rewind for a second, slap myself, because it's been a while. We've been sitting through some downtime, and I forgot we had just recently cast MaSa actually for the WCS, well, actually for the same tournament, but it was the ladder challenger, and MaSa was looking fine over there. Neeb and Puck were ultimately the ones who won that tournament, which is why you don't see them trying to qualify today. But MaSa was not doing nearly as many all-ins as I was afraid he may have been doing. A lot of people, frankly, were doing a lot of all-ins in that tournament. Drunken Boy showing us a lot of those too versus Protoss. But in TvT, you got to be careful with these drops, because if this drop goes really well, cool, you've done a bit of damage. But if it goes really badly and you lose the medevac on top of it, you're suddenly in a very terrible spot. It's insane how delicate the early game Terran versus Terran balance of units is, but to lose one or two things early on can really set you behind. And unlike other matchups, TvT is a lot less about the workers in play and a lot more about the army at hand.
Yeah, Kelazhur has some really excellent drop defense, I want to say. Like, his missile turret was appropriately placed, that if MaSa didn't have, like, quick thinking, basically, he might have lost the medevac. There was a Widow Mine in the front. Unfortunately, when it comes to actually having units in position, though, that's where he definitely screwed up.
Medevac goes down. He loses about 8 workers for this, and that will put him a little behind. But as we said, a lot of the times, this isn't so much about the workers available. Well, unless you send them back in too early and lose another 4 for no reason.
Oh, that was
no.
unnecessary. Yeah, very unnecessary right there. So he's down now, 11 workers. Quite bad. We also have MaSa getting a third CC far ahead of Kelazhur. That's what he was planning on doing anyway. Like, it might not have been. So he has a shot here, though, where he does have a bit of a bigger army, and he's going to have to try and abuse that right now. Unfortunately, you know, he's just going for a single drop. We'll see if he pushes out with this army. It will have stim, not quite combat shields. I am worried that he's going to fall farther and farther behind unless he can find something to do with this army supply lead.
Well, for Kelazhur, it's his turn to do the drop. I was really hoping we'd see the 2 tank, 8 marine drop. You know, 2 tanks shown back here, but it is just going to be 8 marines. Maybe get some damage done. Maybe it pays back MaSa. MaSa also not in position to deal with this, similar to Kelazhur.
Yeah, a bit of revenge. Difference is that there's a missile turret here.
There's also stim.
Oh, and there is stim. A very quick pull in the SCVs, however, does help negate the damage, but that army could actually snipe the tank with stim.
Yeah, I think he was
Not
debating whether he
aggressive.
wanted to, but there's so few marines here. I'm surprised he didn't actually dedicate more. And I just want to stress, like, he's bringing the tanks and the marines now. If he had done 2 tanks, 8 marines, he could have held that position so well with stim.
Yeah.
So a bit of a shame for Kelazhur, but he is gearing up to go for another drop. Scans the main, almost like a bit of a fake out. Like, look over here, classic Terran move. I'm scanning where I'm dropping. But if he's actually going to the natural, that'll work out kind of interesting. The Vikings in play for MaSa are going to be kind of important going forward, especially sniping off medevacs, stopping them from being able to shuffle the tanks around. But where does he go with this? I mean, there's tanks everywhere.
The natural is still a good choice. You said that scan was kind of a fake out, so he'll be able to potentially set up his position. A couple of Marines are going to try and snipe a tank. The tank drops in counter with that delay added on since almost the very beginning of Legacy of the Void. Actually loses MaSa a lot of his tanks, but
Kelazhur also wasted a bunch of shots on a depot. I don't know what that was about.
Yeah.
So the tanks have to fall back a little bit here. The medevacs are finally gone, but the tanks have done some pretty good damage. They've killed 9 workers and even up the count, but he's not quite coming out of this ahead.
not quite. The armor supply is still pretty even despite being cleaned up because he did still take out a lot of MaSa's tanks. Like, he took out MaSa's tanks while MaSa took out most of his Marines. So it all gets cleaned up and all evens out. Unfortunately, the difference was that MaSa has had a third CC for a while. You think that would actually be a big part, though, but it's not. Like, Kelazhur his finishes up right now. He's going to be about, 20 seconds behind if he lifts it as soon as possible. And the work account's even, so we still have an even game. The only only advancement I can see for MaSa would be the second upgrade already on the way. He got double engineering bay, which, I mean, is pretty important. He's going to have 1-1 just to compare to the 1 of Kelazhur if they fight again, but that's something that tank drops will probably make up for.
Yeah. So as he takes his third, you're right, it doesn't match MaSa's. The SCV count is so close, it doesn't really matter. And for this game, I'm a little bit worried for MaSa. I normally would never ever say this. I mean, it's similar army supplies and all this. In fact, MaSa even has more medevacs. But it's the fact that Kelazhur is coming with more Marines. And that, for me, stands out way and above. Like, regardless of upgrades for a moment, while tanks are the flashy powerhouse units, they are nothing without the Marine fodder in front of them. And if Kelazhur takes a position down here, the south side of this natural, third, I think he doesn't get kicked out. But getting over here is going to be tough. He could also actually take the ledge. There's nothing to threaten, but he could also secure a landing zone if he wanted to.
Dusk Towers. Excuse me. Running out of words. Dusk Towers does sometimes go down to who can abuse the ledge the most, but after it gets cleared of 3 bases, then it's just going to be about who has better tank drops and concaves. What the hallmark of all good TvT battles. This time, Legacy of the Void includes tank drops. And for that, I don't know who has the better control, to be honest. I think we've seen every single Terran player have beautiful tank drops and absolutely terrible tank drops. Sometimes in the same day or sometimes even the same game. And no one's truly mastered it yet. But still, some people can be better than others. MaSa's 1-1 finished, but Kelazhur is right on the heels of it with +1 armor. Almost done, too.
Oh, he actually managed to sneak a drop in the main. He didn't realize how the turret's down. That would no way that was going to happen, but takes some of the Marines out of this. He kills the turret on the left side, so he should be able to get back in here later if he'd like. He's actually winning the fight in the main, barely. Actually, the medevacs will finally clean that up. But he doesn't use this to pursue forward. I think he had seen the amount of tanks waiting for him, and the opportunity is somewhat lost. Drops in his own base are also needing to be dealt with. few SCVs dying on both sides, but keeps them pretty honest.
Drop the tank. Drop the tank.
Okay, now what?
No, nothing. I was gonna say Kelazhur is banking a lot of money. His macros really slipped here, and there wasn't really all that much going on. Just the drop that he did and then had to defend against. That's a bit of a problem. He did just slap down 3 extra barracks though, so his production will be stronger than MaSa. MaSa prioritizing the 2-2 instead, and as such will have about 30 seconds of an upgrade lead. Hopefully for Kelazhur, not enough to really abuse. But Kelazhur's army supply is a bit trouble here. It looks like it's just mostly in medevacs though, so as long as he has enough medevacs for his tanks, which he does, I don't see that being a super big problem. They might just meet each other in the middle. Scans go down for both sides. Do not drop into that Kelazhur. Run! And he does. I still miss the days of no delay tank drops.
There's a million ways I could argue that I think it was far better for the game and balance, but I can understand, like, if the catering isn't to the pro scene but to the amateur scene, I can see why they would change that.
Oh god, it's a base trade. They just simply bypassed each other. They knew,
but
they were both going the opposite direction.
Who's got a better chance of falling back off this? And I think Kelazhur with that command center at the 4th. No, I actually think the command center at the 4th is going to let Kelazhur escape with a little bit more than he should. Everything's flying towards the gold base. Don't know that I agree with that, but MaSa's command center, his barracks, they're all also migrating to the gold base. So
see, Vikings, please don't.
I guess the 3 Vikings I like better for MaSa, and I think that alone gives him a bigger lead. So I take back what I said before.
Okay, yeah, the Vikings is a good point, but MaSa also had he realized before Kelazhur did. I don't even think Kelazhur really realized it was going to happen. Who knows? That a base trade was about to occur, so MaSa had at least some units on the high ground. So we saw Kelazhur lose about, I want to say, 10 more army supply, whereas MaSa didn't really lose any more army supply doing that big drop into the main base.
You remember that time that macro slipped and let him build all these command
centers
all over the map?
Oh my god. But unfortunately, like, can he produce from it? Actually he can.
That
7
will also
barracks.
supply block him, if he were to get supply blocks.
Yeah, I mean, MaSa has the bigger army supply right now, but Kelazhur has the better chance at
making more
time. Like, time is on his side. Again, at this point, not the biggest deficit in army supply is still those medevacs, but Kelazhur is still down 2
Why didn't
tanks.
MaSa? Oh no, he's got units inside the medevac, a tank and an SCV. He could have saved some of these SCVs and brought them over to his gold base. This is kind of awkward as he just loses everything needlessly. Maybe just faith in his army winning the game. I don't know, but while Kelazhur does start producing 7 Marines in the bottom bottom right side of the map, MaSa might just try and hit him before he gets a chance to escape and head that direction.
Well, I mean, down now only 1 tank, because apparently MaSa's 1 tank was in that medevac that just got sniped. I do believe Kelazhur can hold if MaSa just, pushes in too rough.
It really is a matter of either player getting caught off guard by the other. Like, who's better prepared for the fight? Obviously, it's going to favor the player who's in position with the tanks. He's unsieging on purpose to try and fit more.
Wait a minute. I didn't even see that MaSa finished his 2-2. 2-2-1, in fact. Like, MaSa has some severe upgrade leads here.
But I'm still jaded on this.
Kelazhur. Oh no, Kelazhur. He's just leaving 2 tanks? Well, those aren't about to die, I guess. Oh, okay.
Okay. I guess he really wanted to get on top of the buildings before they started having a chance to escape, but
risky.
Setting up this base defensively not going to work.
Kelazhur, of course, supply blocked, has now landed his barracks and has a good chunk of Marines in the bottom right, but can't produce any more.
I mean, just Marines aren't going to cut it for any situation whatsoever. Now he's got to kind of abandon these ones. The medevacs were a little bit tentative to get anything here. Brings over the new tanks, but I don't think it's the fight to take, and he's going to have to give away the Marines, the equivalent of Marines that he just saved. These other command centers that he had built are kind of in danger. What the fuck is this?
It's a Terran command center, man. It can lift anywhere.
Thank you for the educational tutorial. Game 1 in this best of 3, going down to the limits of what a TvT can be. And I mentioned before, like, these series would either be long or short, unsure of which, but this first game has certainly gone in an interesting direction. Now, you mentioned before the upgrades. I always harp on this when we cast, so I'm definitely going to bring it up again. The difference that 1 level upgrade for armor and weapons makes over Kelazhur's army is phenomenal. It's huge. I do want to point out, though, MaSa and Kelazhur are both in a bit of an odd spot where neither can build much. Kelazhur is building supply depots so that he can build SCVs so that he can actually get things going. MaSa is in a similarly awkward position where he can't actually build anything. And he has no money to support building a bunch of depots.
He does have 2 SCPs though to get cracking. It's not happening too quickly. I mean, it's a very odd situation here where you actually have it being calm. Like, usually they have at least a couple of medevacs going around. I guess in Kelazhur's case, it's going to be tanks floating around looking for any excess buildings they can pick off. Supply depots built in an emergency around the map. Barracks that landed trying to be repaired. But it's actually very calm. These 2 tanks, very dangerous, but also potentially effective. I believe
Is this going to be like early game harass? You're just like kind of sniping around the sides?
But there's 2 Vikings still left from MaSa. This is even more dangerous because the initial theory is that they're gonna.
Oh.
Okay, well that
what?
was actually something I was not anticipating. I thought that they would just run over Marines accidentally. I certainly foresaw that. But then the Vikings could have got it, or Kelazhur could have just landed and tanks already pre-sieged.
Did that Marine get to see the buildings? He saw 1 barracks, and that's enough to indicate that he needs to head that direction at some point. But while mules are great, and we saw mules dropped all over the place for these gold bases, is your base up and running? Yes.
Yeah, it's totally mining. It's all the mining.
Both SCVs.
Completely saturated.
He only does have a 3rd. All right. While this goes on, I think they both realize that this is a bit of an awkward reset, but MaSa has a huge advantage in these tanks. Here's where the game gets really harrowing and scary, though. Because MaSa has to pay so much freaking attention to his army, more so than you normally would, he might not actually be able to macro. And I know that sounds really dumb to say, but like if you fly those tanks over these Marines, that's the game like just being given away. And he knows he can't make that mistake. But both players are in such a weird spot. MaSa finally has some production going. He's not trying to get SCVs.
Well, still supply
Kelazhur lost his other 2. This Marine is down 3 kills. He's on 9 kills.
Well, that was his last SCV, but he can still make another one. So
yeah, he's not supply blocks. But do you want to like? How do you play this at this point?
Well, okay, so here's the one main problem for Kelazhur. He doesn't know about MaSa's other base, so he thinks that he's just gonna have to corner MaSa on that top base.
Yeah,
right and left,
actually,
and he'll be okay.
MaSa's producing more SCVs. This is actually kind of a big deal.
It's a problem. So, it's really everything is not looking good for Kelazhur, but MaSa doesn't know that.
78
so,
out of 70.
Kelazhur, he doesn't know if MaSa's telling the truth, although I think they assume they are.
Yeah.
Oh, this might just be game. This is game, actually. Command center going to go down.
It guarantees that MaSa...
200.
Yeah. That would be scary as hell. It guarantees MaSa can't lose at this point because Kelazhur can no longer build anything, can fly to the corner of the map and shoot something down. So MaSa now is in a situation where he draws or wins. I think he wins.
Yeah,
oh God, he just
E grinder, Jesus.
Kelazhur just took his hands off the keyboard to type GG. All right. That was a tight game though. Like that could have gone both ways for a long time there, but congratulations to MaSa as he takes game number 1 in this best of 3. We're gonna go to a small break, guys. I do apologize. We're getting close to the end of the night, so we'll see you in 2 minutes with game number 2. This is a qualifying match, just a reminder. All right, welcome back. Game number 2 in this best of 3 happening right before your eyes. It is the qualifying match after all, so there's quite a bit riding on this. Interestingly enough, there was some very proper conduct between games. In the lobby, MaSa just kind of passing off a compliment, like your base trading is like way better than others. Like, I'm surprised that was not like a, fuck you, man, you lied to me about 200, you know, something like that.
I believed you.
All right, well, he is currently down 1 and fighting for his life in the winner's bracket. If he loses here, he can still come back and play tomorrow. And the upper left side, it's going to be Kelazhur.
In the bottom right, 2 Raxing. It's the blue Terran, MaSa.
So the camera work was actually not super on purpose, but I was lucky it landed on both the barracks when I was slipping around.
And no one would have known if you hadn't just said that.
Well, you know what? I like to be truthful, and I like to own up to things. So.
Questionable.
I was a Boy Scout for 5 years, after all.
I know that's true, but
You know what we should play in Austin, and we should get like other people in on too.
Mafia.
Two truths and a lie.
Someone brought that up earlier. What is so fun about that game? I don't think it's fun at all.
It's fun when you do it one-on-one, and there's like actual consequences, like getting wet or drinking and things like that.
You can include that in King's Cup. I'm just saying.
King's Cup, you need a lot of people for. I think 4 people is not a good amount for King's Cup.
But we had a fun time playing King's Cup with 4 people. It was great. Take it back, Rifkin.
You guys also play King's Cup so lame. No one actually puts like drinks in a cup, and no one actually drinks it. Like that's the whole point. Like the fear of getting the
What do you
fourth
mean
king.
that we play it lame? We all agree. It's not like Rifkin's been like, oh, you guys play it so lame, I won't do it. He's always been like, yeah, it's gonna be too difficult to get a cup in the middle because we're playing on a bed.
I'm just saying, you guys play it lame. I don't want.
Who's you? You were included in this.
Just because I agreed to play doesn't mean it's
I would
because I
love
thought
to
it was
have
amazing.
A
Stand.
cup in the middle that
No,
is full of
you
all
say
the
that
alcohol.
until it's full of beer and a Jello shot and a vodka mix and like it's
Bitch,
just it's barf. In
I'm the most
glass.
adventurous out of anyone. I will do that. But unfortunately,
you are
anytime
the
we played,
least adventurous out of everyone.
what are you talking about? I always eat all the food that anyone gives me. I'm like, yeah, I'll try that. I'll try that. Like alcohol, I'll be like, fine, I'll try it.
What about
Places to go? I'll be
what
like, all
about
right, I'm
what
gonna
made
try.
Scarlet sick?
What?
Do you remember that when Scarlet got sick for like 3 days?
I,
Yeah,
I didn't realize you were using code words.
I have to.
Okay, that's like a really bad code. I feel like I'm what we're talking about now.
Okay, well we better shut up so we don't get in trouble, and we don't get anyone else in trouble either. But Reaper is going to be hopping up to the cliff just to take a bit of vision. It's worth noting though, MaSa with a 2-Rex opener like this is still dedicating Reapers. This kind of sucks for him on account of the fact that Kelazhur is getting a Liberator. He's got some Hellions out, and early pressure can overwhelm when you've got smaller units like this. But you're coming into a mid-game fight with how many Reapers? 7? It's going to be a bit awkward, especially because nothing here shoots up. That Liberator's got free range to do whatever it like. In fact, it could go over the mineral line and just chill until that Viking's out.
It was such an awkward opener because you basically just realize, okay, like the Reapers aren't gonna do anything, but what I do? Stop making Reapers? Psh, no. No. So like, yeah, the Reapers can't shoot up, but they can try and counterattack, which I guess is their only option here. However, the Liberator just runs through that Viking. He's gonna get like 2 shots off.
Not even.
Not even 1. Wow.
If you could stack Reaper grenades, could you technically shoot them
Oh
up?
god.
Oh, those
my
are actually
God.
great grenades
Oh,
out of
God.
MaSa. He may have just won the game, actually.
He caught the Hellions without the Reapers.
GG.
GG.
Oh, MaSa! MaSa!
Awkward.
That shouldn't have worked. Like, I just want to be very clear. Like, that should not have worked. But this is the problem in TvT. When I talk about this, like, early game balance, being delicate, that's an example of it right there. So, GG, congratulations to MaSa. He's going to qualify and go to France, baby. But Kelazhur's not out of it just yet. Well, the tournament does stop here today and now. The losers bracket will play tomorrow, and Kelazhur still has a chance over there for one of 2 slots. That does wrap up the cast, though. This is actually coming close to 10 hours. Or 12 hours, excuse me. Well, I was saying 10 earlier. Jesus. If we started at 10 and we finish at 10, that's 12 hours. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I really don't know what to say. We had a long day. It was a lot of fun. Thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to tune in tomorrow. I'm just going to say it. I can't do the European one. Maybe we can convince Fear Dragon to wake up super early for it.
Fair Dragon. He was in the chat.
Yeah. Where's our group chat? Fear Dragon, you should cast EU. We are dead. All right.
Stumble, where are you?
Shut the. I don't know where Stumble went. Okay, whatever. But yeah, that ends it. So we'll be back for the North American one for certain. That's not a problem to wake up for. But 3 a.m. for the European one's probably a little too much. So if Fear Dragon can't cast it, then we won't be able to provide any coverage. Hopefully he can. We'll talk to him off stream. We'll make tweets. Thank you guys for watching today. I hope you had a good time. Hope you enjoyed the show. Very excited to see who qualifies tomorrow. And I guess, again, your Chairs for Gaming, G2A, Corsair, check out the links down below in the page. Thank you to those who donated today. We had a really surprising amount of generous donations that I just can't get over. So thank you guys so much. But yeah, we're going to end the stream with a couple minutes of ads. We'll find somebody to host. Actually, who's online right now? It's probably like nobody. Everyone's like fucking tired and asleep. I would be. I'd be so tired so hard. Okay, I don't know who will host. We'll find somebody. Thank you Take a good night, everybody, and we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.